for the 6th annual staging of the television trophy. And when I tell you that the past winners have been world champions Ole Olsen from Denmark and Ivan Major from New Zealand, Australian international Phil Crump, Czechoslovakia's Václav Werner and England's Dave Jessup, you can see what a truly international event this annual jamboree has become. Tonight's lineup is no exception, and it's also indicative of the influx of American stars into British League racing in recent years, because we've got 4 young American stars here tonight, 2 of whom ride for the local team, the Hull Larder Vikings. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you the pictures of the opening heats, but the situation with all the riders having 1 ride each is a very good start indeed for the home riders, because Ivan Major, Bobby Beaton and Kelly Moran, 3 Hull riders, have all won their first races, and the Heat 4 was won by the American Bobby Schwartz from Cradley Heath. Not only did he pick up 3 points, but he equalled the 70 seconds track record set here on June the 5th by Bellevue's British champion Peter Collins. So that's the situation then after the first 4 heats. The heat winners Ivan Major, Bobby Beaton, Kelly Moran and Bobby Schwartz. Well, the riders coming up now for Heat 5 of the television trophy, and from the extreme left, starting with Michael Lee, who's yet to come up to the starting line. He's the newly crowned Commonwealth champion, comes from King's Lynn, 20 years old, and John Titman in the white helmet. Next to him, Frank Orford from Hull, and the rider with no name there at the starting line because he's a late substitute for Dave Jessup is Neil Coddington, the 26-year-old Australian who rides for Newcastle Diamonds. So that's the lineup then for Heat 5. At the starting line, Michael Lee really the man to watch on the outside, and away he goes into that first turn. Michael Lee, number 9, followed by John Titman from Leicester, and in third place Frank Orford from Hull, with the stand-in Neil Coddington at the back of the field at the moment. A good lead for Michael Lee as they come up to complete that one. In second place, John Titman, the Australian international from Leicester. Frank Orford battling hard to go round him on the pitch turn into second place. Frank Orford very determined to do well in this race after breaking the tapes in his first outing and being handicapped 20 yards, a handicap that he found far too much to make up. On lap 3 now, and it's Michael Lee, this 20-year-old, very long and lanky Commonwealth champion from King's Lynn. Former British champion, in fact, British champion twice, lost it to Peter Collins at Coventry recently by 1 point. And after only picking up 2 points in his first ride, for all the efforts that Frank Orford, the Hull rider, is making behind him, it's Michael Lee who's comfortably out in front. The last corner to negotiate now. Michael Lee comes round to take the checkered flag, a win for Michael Lee, number 9 in second, number 1 Frank Orford, and in third place was number 5 John Titman. On then to Heat 6, and there's the names of the riders from left to right. Gordon Kennett from Eastbourne, then Kenny Carter from Halifax, Kelly Moran from Hull, and on the extreme right, Joe Owen from Hull. 2 Hull riders, and the 18-year-old Kenny Carter from Halifax. On the inside, it's Joe Owen from Hull, challenged by his teammate Kelly Moran. Back in third place, Kenny Carter, now coming around on the outside, Gordon Kennett from Eastbourne. He had a very bad start, his first ride, very disappointing, didn't do anything at all, and yet, would you believe, he's number 2 in the world, second in last year's Golden Jubilee World Final. But out in front, it's the 2 Hull riders, and it's Kelly Moran, after a brilliant win in his first outing, going down the back straight now, followed by Joe Owen, number 14, also from the Hull Larder Vikings, and in third place, 18-year-old Kenny Carter, up-and-coming young star of Halifax, who had a very good season in the National League last year with Newcastle Diamonds, and only through the cancellation of the England-Denmark tour, the England-Denmark Test Series in this country, lost the chance of becoming the youngest ever full England international. And on the last lap now, it's Kelly Moran, injured here a fortnight ago. They thought he'd broken his pelvis again, but only bad bruising. The doctors said don't ride for 3 weeks, so Kelly was back after 1, and here he is coming round, winning race number 2 for him. In second place, his teammate Joe Owen, number 14, and in third place, number 2, Kenny Carter from Halifax. Now we come up to Heat 8. This time the riders from left to right are Bruce Penhall from Cradley Heath, next to him Chris Morton from Bellevue, Dennis Sigalos, a home rider here for the Hull Vikings, and just practice start there on the extreme right of your picture for the maestro of Speedway, Ivan Major, captain of the Hull Vikings, 5 times champion of the world, a man who's just about done everything there is to do in Speedway and collected an MBE for his services to the sport. The only rider still actually competing who has that award. Ivan Major, who won the first heat here, they're looking for a second in this race. A huge favourite with the Hull fans, and he's taken Hull as a team to within a few points of the top of the British League. And on the inside is Ivan Major making a superb gate into that first turn. Watch the style of this brilliant New Zealander. He'll be 40 years old in October. He's followed into that third bend by Bruce Penhall from Cradley Heath, and in third place at the moment Dennis Sigalos of Hull. But it's Ivan Major out in front. One of the fastest starters in Speedway, and always has been, and it's worth noting that Ivan Major, who as I said will be 40 in October, had already been riding for nearly 5 years before Kenny Carter, the youngest rider in tonight's meeting, was even born. And Ivan Major still very much at the top, an 11-point average in the British League this season, riding majestically, not only for Hull but also in international meetings. Comes round to take the flag to start the last lap with a very big lead indeed from Bruce Penhall, the 22-year-old American from Cradley, who's now being challenged on the outside by another American, Dennis Sigalos. But Sigalos just couldn't find the grip or the space, and now he's dropped back, and it's a very comfortable win indeed for Ivan Major from Hull. In second place, number 16, Bruce Penhall from Cradley, and in third place was Dennis Sigalos. There's number 4, Ivan Major, acknowledging the cheers of the crowd for his second victory of the night. And that was a new track record, in fact, for Ivan Major, having seen a track record that he set earlier in the season, beaten by Peter Collins and equalled by Bobby Schwartz. He's gone out now in that Heat 7 and smashed the track record in Heat 8 rather, with 69.8 seconds. So the situation after 8 heats, which means all riders in fact have had 2 rides each, is that Ivan Major, Bobby Beaton and Kelly Moran, all Hull riders, have got maximum points, 6, and followed by Bobby Schwartz from Cradley Heath with 5 and Michael Lee from Kings Lynn with 5. Heat 11 then, and a crucial race for the rider second from the right, just digging his heels in there, looking for a nice grip. Michael Lee, the Commonwealth champion, former British champion, but from the left it's Joe Owen from Hull, Tom Owen from Newcastle, Michael Lee from Kings Lynn, and Dennis Sigalos on the extreme right there from Hull. Still waiting then for Michael Lee then just to come off to the line. As I say, a vital race for him because he's got 5 points out of 6, and he knows that the 3 leaders, Ivan Major, Bobby Beaton and Kelly Moran, all with 6 points, meet in the very next heat, so something will have to give. Watch then as they push. It's Michael Lee's front wheel pushing the tapes there, but he gets away cleanly this time. Into the first turn, number 9, Michael Lee from Kings Lynn. Coming around on the outside of him and almost touching his back wheel there was Tom Owen from Newcastle, who knows this track of course very well because he also rides for Hull numerous occasions. In third place at the moment, Dennis Sigalos from Hull. And at the back it's Joe Owen, another Hull rider who's not having the best of nights, but did make an incredible comeback from injury. Very severely injured last season indeed here at this track. Didn't ride again until this season, yet recently won the Marathon at Ipswich over 16 laps just to show how much he'd got back his fitness. But out in front with a very big lead, Michael Lee, who recently shocked his team, Kings Lynn, by asking for a transfer after they'd shocked him by finding him £1,000. That's the figure we believe they fined him, because he didn't get back from the World Pairs final in time to ride for his team in the National 14 tournament, incidentally won by Hull. The last turn now safely negotiated by Michael Lee. Great scrap for second place, and it's Dennis Sigalos who just gets it ahead of Tom Owen. So the winner, Michael Lee, number 9. In second place, Dennis Sigalos, number 8. And in third place, Tom Owen, the other Hull rider, picking up 1 point. On to heat 12, and something's really got to give in this one, because we've got 3 Hull riders unbeaten. 2 rides each, 2 wins each. Riders from the left are Bobby Beaton, Kelly Moran and Ivan Major. Those are the 3 unbeaten riders. And then Dave Jessup on the extreme right of your picture, who pulled out of his second ride with engine trouble, but he's back in again this time. And let's say that Dave Jessup, apart from an engine failure, might well have won the World Championship at Wembley last year. So he's certainly not in there just to make up the numbers. But really it's down to Ivan Major, Kelly Moran and Bobby Beaton, and with Ivan Major having set a brand new track record, 69.8 seconds in his last ride, which was heat 8. He's got to be the favourite for this one, but let's see as they go away. It's Ivan Major who makes the start, flies into that first corner, makes his usual impeccable turn, followed by Kelly Moran in the white helmet. 18-year-old American who really sets them on fire here at the Boulevard and just about everywhere else that he rides. And in third place, Dave Jessup. Sorry, in fact, in third place, Bobby Beaton. It's the 3 Hull riders setting the pace. Dave Jessup having a bad time tonight, back in 4th place. But Ivan Major looking as good tonight as he's ever looked in his career, and that's really been the story of his riding this season. Brilliant for Hull, brilliant for New Zealand. In fact, Ivan Major has led New Zealand to their first ever appearance in the World Team Cup final, and that comes up in London in September. And a lot of embarrassed Englishmen around because England have been eliminated. Ivan Major comfortably ahead of this batting little American Kelly Moran. Only 18 years old, and as I say, injured a fortnight ago here. Quite a nasty bang, and really shouldn't have been riding yet, but he's back there looking as good as ever. But Ivan Major takes the checkered flag. Number 4, Ivan Major first. In second place, number 10, Kelly Moran. And in third, the former Hull captain, Bobby Beaton, number 7. To show you just how fast Ivan Major is travelling tonight and how determined he is to win this television trophy for the 2nd time, because he did win it before in 1975. He's now equalled that track record that he set in heat 8. And the situation after all the riders have had 3 rides is that we've got a clear leader now. Ivan Major, the Hull captain, with 9 points, followed by Michael Lee and Kelly Moran with 8 each, and then Bobby Beaton and Bobby Schwartz have 7. They decide the outcome of this 1979 television trophy. The riders from the outside, from the left, that is Bobby Schwartz, Ivan Major, Gordon Kennett and Michael Lee. Ivan Major unbeaten with 9 points. Michael Lee has dropped only 1 point. Michael Lee on the right of your picture. That's Ivan Major in the white helmet, moving across there to Gordon Kennett. And then on the extreme right, just adjusting his visor there, Michael Lee. So Michael Lee with 8 points knows that if Ivan Major wins this one, and Ivan Major, let's face it, has set a new track record and equalled it, this is a race which Major could just about do enough in to put this television trophy beyond doubt. Still got a race left, of course, after this, and anything can happen in Speedway, engine failures, broken tapes. Certainly the pressure is real on in this one, and Ivan Major ducks under the tapes and makes a tremendous start, much to the delight of the Hull fans. Away he goes down the back straight, already some 10 yards in front. Bobby Schwartz in second place, Michael Lee back in third. Michael Lee recently deposed as British champion, but last Sunday crowned as Commonwealth champion in this year's World Championship. Michael Lee has first got to get past Bobby Schwartz before he can put on in a really serious challenge, and he does. Or very nearly does as he goes into that third turn. Michael Lee now coming inside Schwartz, but it's still Ivan Major up in front. Ivan Major headed by the American Bobby Schwartz. First season in British Speedway for Schwartz. A very spectacular and a very talented rider indeed. Holding off the challenge from Michael Lee. 1 lap to go now for Ivan Major. winner of the television trophy in 1975 when it was just a sudden death semi-finals and final, but it's out. And on the last corner, a tremendous effort indeed from Michael Lee to go around the outside, and he does get around the outside, and Schwartz Major wins, but Lee with that tremendous last corner gets past Schwartz into second place. So Major wins, Lee is second to stay in the hunt, and in third place Bobby Schwartz. And Ivan Major slowing down a little bit, 70.4 seconds is time for that race, but it's still 4 wins on the trot, and he is very much in the driving seat now, as these Hull fans know. Ivan Major could well be on the way to winning the television trophy once again. Well, the 16 riders here have 1 race left each, and out in front, Ivan Major, unbeaten with 12 points, followed by Michael Lee with 10, Kelly Moran with 10, and Bobby Beaton with 10, and Bruce Penhall is next in line with 9. So it's really all down to what happens to Ivan Major in the last race of the night, Heat 20. Heat 17 then, and we're just waiting for 2 riders to come up to the line, but on the outside, there is Kelly Moran, the very popular American rider for Hull Vikings. He's got 10 points so far. He's in second place at the moment with Michael Lee, and very keen to get a result in this race. Next to him, Bobby Schwartz from Cradley, then Dennis Sigalos for Hull, 3 Americans, and on the extreme right, Frank Orford, the lone Englishman in this lineup, also from Hull Vikings. The one to watch really, Kelly Moran on the outside, that's the extreme left of your picture. Kelly Moran, number 10. He can make the start. No, he makes a very poor start, in fact, and flying into that first turn goes Frank Orford from Hull. Kelly Moran coming round with that Cossack style of his on the outside into second place. Challenged now by Dennis Sigalos and Bobby Schwartz. Really tight race this by the looks of it. It's Frank Orford, who's lost his helmet colour, who's on number 1 on his back, just out in front, and Kelly Moran in fact being passed by Bobby Schwartz from Cradley. Schwartz now making a big bid on the third turn on lap 2, but Kelly Moran comes back inside. This is certainly one of the best races that we've had tonight. Still in front, Frank Orford. Twice been handicapped in this meeting, as I said earlier, for breaking the tape, put back 20 yards, but here he is now, holding out in front. Kelly Moran having a tremendous scrap with Bobby Schwartz as they go into the last lap now, but it's still Frank Orford. Into second place goes Kelly Moran. In third place, Bobby Schwartz. Schwartz is coming again now. Moran makes a challenge on Orford. Can Orford hold the last turn? Orford goes wide. Moran comes through on the inside. Orford just wins. Moran is second, and in third place, Bobby Schwartz. A very tight finish indeed, and one that's really set the crowd alight here at the Boulevard. Well, I don't know what sort of contraption you'd call that, but there's a whole lot of Vikings fan with the Hull Vikings gear, a homemade helmet, and he's walking on there trying to rouse this whole crowd if they needed any rousing, ready for this grand finale. On to Heat 18, and the riders from left to right in this crucial heat, certainly for Michael Lee and Bobby Beaton, are Bruce Penhall, Bobby Beaton, Kenny Carter and Michael Lee. Bobby Beaton and Michael Lee each having 10 points, chasing Ivan Major, the race leader, or the leader at this stage of the competition, with 12 points, Ivan Major having 1 ride left. Michael Lee and Bobby Beaton certainly need to look for points in this race and look for a win in this race, in the hope that Major will slip up in his final ride. So really an important race this for the whole rider Bobby Beaton, and for Michael Lee, the former British champion, who takes a magnificent start into that first turn. It's very light of the fact that he's one of the tallest riders in Speedway, gets very neatly around the corners, comes down again, being challenged now by the young Halifax rider Kenny Carter in third place, Bruce Penhall, and at the back, rather disappointing this time, Bobby Beaton. But he comes through there, or tries to come through, and looked as though there was a mistake there by Penhall. Beaton couldn't force his way through, and out in front still Michael Lee. Second place, Kenny Carter being challenged by Bruce Penhall from Cradley Heath. The activity is certainly going on in second place, because Bruce Penhall's come through now from Kenny Carter. Kenny Carter, very nearly loses the bike on that third turn. Does extremely well to keep control of it, but he's lost a lot of ground in doing so. And he's out of the hunt certainly now, and it's the challenge coming from Bruce Pennell to Michael Lee on the last lap. Michael Lee now going into the last turn, safely round, takes a nice little line, crosses the line comfortably in front. Number 9, Michael Lee, the winner. Second place, number 16, Bruce Pennell, and in third place was Kenny Carter, 2. On we go then to Heat 20, and this is the race that must decide, surely, the 1979 television trophy, because it brings to the tapes, extreme left of your picture, New Zealand's and so many times the world's #1, Ivan Major. Next to him, Les Collins, then we'll have Joe Owen, and then we'll have John Titman. But it's Ivan Major wearing number 4 with the black and yellow helmet, just looking around there for a good starting position, for a good grip. Ivan Major just needing a second place in this final heat to give him the television trophy for the second time. He won it last in 1975, but this would be the first time as a Hull rider, and in fact would be the first time that a Hull rider had won the television trophy in 6 years of competition. So it's Ivan Major, Les Collins, Joe Owen and John Titman, but certainly all eyes on the 39-year-old Peter Pan of Speedway, Ivan Major. Oh, and there's trouble there at the tapes. And it's the rider on the inside, John Titman. It's on the extreme right, who is penalised and will have to go back to the 20-yard mark for the rerun of Heat 20. Ivan Major certainly far too cool a customer to be bothered by anything like that at this stage of his career. And it's just a pity that Barry Briggs, who should have been co-commentator tonight with me, couldn't make it. He's been stranded in America, because Barry, who won the world title 4 times himself, would certainly love to have seen Ivan Major in this form. And it's certainly a warning to all his rivals in the World Championship. Ivan Major having safely come through the Commonwealth final on Sunday, and he's now just 1 meeting away from his 14th consecutive world final, and he's just 2 points away from winning the television trophy here at his home track, the Boulevard at Hull. Ivan Major, number 4, out in front. In second place, Joe Owen. In third place at the moment, Les Collins from Bellevue, and at the back, John Titman, penalised 20 yards and far too much to do. But it's Ivan Major. Just look at the style of this veteran New Zealander, but then how can you really call him a veteran the way he's been riding this year? An 11-point average in the British League, having such an impact with the Hull Vikings, so much influence on the team. Hull Vikings at the moment in second place in the British League table, their highest ever placing. And Ivan Major on his way to yet another maximum. I'm sure he's had a string of maximums at the Boulevard this season. Round the last turn on lap 3, 1 lap to go. He only needed second place, but he's going to do it in style with a maximum. In second place at the moment, Joe Owen. In third is Les Collins, but all eyes on the leader, Ivan Major. Round the last turn now, into the home straight. Ivan Major takes the checkered flag, a 15-point maximum. The television trophy is his for the second time, 1975 and 1979. Number 4 there, Ivan Major, winner of the television trophy with a 15-point maximum in second place. Michael Lee for the second successive